Hello. Uh, I'm moving immediately. This is the next part in our Legend of Zelda playthrough for the NES, and I am just going off the bat. Don't need any sort of long explanation. We're looking for not you. We are looking for Dungeons 6, level 6, which, if I remember correctly, it's in the graveyard, which is one of the places where I originally thought the second dungeon was. But I was wrong. So we're gonna go check there first. I have a sneaking suspicion that I may be wrong there as well. But I'm glad I don't. Oh, immediately our magic powers take it away. But yeah, initially I thought level 2 was in the maze, but it ended up being level 6 instead. Maybe. I don't remember entirely. And I'm looking for, or going to be looking for, the red ring, since I definitely need more defense, but I don't know when I'm allowed to get it, because I feel like it has something to do with a suspicious rock I saw earlier, but I don't feel like I could do anything with it yet. Like I tried everything I could, except bombs, honestly. I don't think I tried bombs. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Alright, this is a dungeon. Please be 6, not 7. Nice. Alright, level 6 is gonna be one video. Nice. Or maybe the actual dungeon is long. But the finding it isn't a... Whoa, I spaced out. I was looking at my recording. Neat, I can kill them with the sword, unlike Link's Awakening, where I can only kill them with bombs. Or, technically, the bow. But I have neither. Well, that's not true. I have a bow, I don't have an arrow. Shoot, I need that. And I do have bombs. So technically my statement of I have neither, this is false. So I'm going to need the arrows, which is nice that I can afford it at least. I would just need to go to a shop. Okay. Oh nice, the last one just died. I wonder if this is the dungeon where I get the next boomerang, because I know there are 2 boomerangs. I don't know the advantages of the second one. I think it's faster and also doesn't have a limit. Like that one won't go the full screen, but I think the next one will. I feel like I remember hearing somewhere that it can kill bats, but this one can already kill the bats. Dang, his fireballs are destroying me. Alright, just one less bat. Don't die to it. So used to the kind fireball spitting statues where they will stop after you kill all the enemies. Now this is quite a troublesome room. Yeah, I didn't expect to get out of there alive. That's correct. Oh geez. I did make a mistake there actually. I did that on purpose. Cause I need to go visit a shop so I can get the arrows, since I know that's a thing I need. And of course you don't have it. Oof. Still gotta kill these guys, cause hopefully they'll get some more money, so maybe I can get a potion though. I'm not really confident in potions. Just like with those kind of things, especially in this game, where they just kind of activate when you die, which is again the whole it's basically like buying a fairy, but my fear is that it like this game specifically because of the way it's designed and its difficulty. Like again with the dark nuts, imagine if I bought a potion for that, and I would have used it instantly because I died, and then probably would have just died again, and then I wouldn't have a potion, and I would have to spend more rupees. Jeez, my health down the drain, and for what? Missed. I don't know. I have a feeling like this might be something. It wasn't. I believe that's a fairy. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try them all. This is way too suspicious to not try out. Okay. Hi there. I think there's one up here. Yeah, that looks like a shop. Good, you do have what I'm looking for. And you actually have the shield at a cheaper price. Alright, finally got the arrows, which technically I got them before, but with the small progress I lost before, I decided not to get them and save my money instead, which ended up being very beneficial because I got this nifty ring. But now I need to actually get back to level 6. Steam items are almost filled up. I can't remember the next two things. Because I believe the boomerang just replaces this one. And, I think was a silver arrow or magic arrow, whichever one it is, just, I mean, that might be a new one, though I feel like it might just replace normal arrows. It's kind of a unique way they designed, the arrows to work in this game, where where you have to buy them. Like it doesn't just come with the bow. First of all, you gotta buy them separately, and then in addition to that, they don't use separate arrows. They just use your money. That was close. Skyward Sword would actually be a game I would be interested in playing after this. I know it's a bit random for me to bring it up, but I was talking about it last episode, and I'm recording this right after that. But Skyward Sword would be a game I'd definitely be interested in recording. It'd probably take a while since I'd wait for it to re-release on Switch instead of, bringing my Wii up over here to try and record. But like I know that game gets a lot of flack, which I definitely understand, but because the controls are a bit hard to use in a lot of situations. But for all the flack it gets, I really do love that game. One of my my favorite just concept out of it is the goddess sword and turning it into the master sword. Because I love that. I think that's amazing. And I don't know, that's just one of my favorite parts of the game. So I know it's a lot of Nintendo's getting a lot of a bit backlash for releasing Skyward Sword for the Switch for more money than it was when it was originally sold. Which I guess I can definitely understand that. But I do think it's actually pretty genius that they used the right stick for sword controls if you're doing handheld mode or for the light. And I heard some complaints about so that means there's no camera controls. And I was thinking, but there was Skyward Sword never had camera control. How do you think you controlled your camera with it on the Wii? Let me out. I mean, technically, maybe it would have been expected that they would add camera controls. Though honestly, they would have to do a lot more to the game if they wanted to do that. Because you know they would have had to actually like add some more things to make the backgrounds more complete. Because when you can control the camera, like basically if you could, I know this is a bit of a stretch, but if you could control the camera in this game, they would have to like make a ceiling. They'd have to basically complete the walls, because they basically just have to add more things that aren't initially in there. You know what? I'm gonna go try out the bow. I missed. Oof. Honestly, the magic shield might be a good investment once I can actually get it, just because it blocks against those. I missed again, and immediately got most of my health taken away. Hope I don't die to these, that would be very embarrassing. I was talking about Skyward Sword before. But yeah, like Skyward Sword, once it gets released on Switch, like I know it's a bit of like controversial, but I'm absolutely getting it. Because I would love to just be able to play Skyward Sword in my free time. Because I know when I was playing it before, I mean technically it was free time as well, but I don't know, it felt a bit different because I had to like sit down and set the whole thing up rather than I could just like boot up my Switch. Oh, it's only that. It's getting ready for nothing. Oh, that was very close. Oh, it doesn't hurt them. At least I know. I thought the bow would be, like, most effective. Maybe it's just my Link's Awakening brain. But speaking of Link's Awakening and Skyward Sword, because I remember something I did a while ago is that, I used pixel art to basically recreate some moments from Skyward Sword, mimicking the Link's Awakening kind of style. And technically it's the same style as they used it for Oracle of Seasons and Ages, but there are slightly different, and I prefer the Link's Awakening first, or better, because it was made first. Is a bit more simple. Like I noticed that, I mean, first of all, the item menu slash health, like the little part where you can see your health, is at the bottom of the screen in Link's Awakening, where it's at the top in the Oracle games, as well as like certain, if I can't remember exactly, but the pixels were a bit different. Like they were, I don't know. It's a weird thing to like describe without looking at it because I can't remember exactly. But they're a bit more detailed, which obviously like that's good as like an advancement because obviously you would want to be more like precise with it because that's a good advancement. But me personally, I kind of like the more simplistic approach to it that Link's Awakening had. That's just me. I'm not saying one's just better. That's just the one which I prefer. But I recreated particular moments. Like I did like the sprite, redid all the sprites for like the shields and all the swords, and I basically did this a whole setup moment of getting the slingshot. I don't think it looked very good, particularly because of the Kikui. You get it off of the big one. I don't think I did a very good job trying to do it in, pixel art. If the door's open, why not just go? Or, I guess that's why they won't let me. But obviously, if like if I was code savvy enough to actually like program that, wow, I kind of botched that one. I don't know, I just noticed my mouse was on the X in my recording software. I didn't want to actually X out mid-recording. But yeah, if I was good enough at like pixel art and coding to actually like make enough sprites and stuff and go, because I've tried Scratch before, but honestly, I think Scratch is kind of garbage because it feels like a combination of like too complex and too simple. Like at least for me, I'm kind of stupid and haven't been versed in too much code. Um, that it's well, it seems like a lot of things are like a bit too complex for me to understand because it doesn't seem to, or at least my experience with it, there wasn't any teaching from it on how things really work, but it seems a bit too or a bit too simple to do particular things that I was thinking of. Just because of the way it's set up. Though I am taking like computer science classes, which are like coding classes. Though I haven't learned anything that is like uh, anything to make something appear on the screen and then be able to move it with buttons. Only like I've been able to make a very simple like RPG type thing, like Final Fantasy type thing, where it's just like a little stick figure on a screen with an O on the opposite side being like a slime or whatever, and you can just like go back and forth because that's very simple to make, since it's the kind of thing where you could just have like 1 is attack, 2 is like magic or whatever, and then you could just input 1 or 2 and then press enter and it does a thing. I don't know anything to make it actually work, but yeah, if I was able to like do all the sprites well and like code that proficiently, I would definitely try and like recreate Skyward Sword as like a Game Boy game. Though obviously I would have to like cut back on the hearts since there's only room for 14 hearts. And you start off with 6 in Skyward Sword, though I would just reduce it to 2 since it wouldn't be reliant on the motion controls. Yeah, also I paused because I'm a bit overwhelmed realizing that I have to fight a mini boss, or a full-on boss, a harder version of a boss I fought before. Uh, Now with just as a mini boss halfway through, so I could tell you aren't Goma. Okay, I would say that I beat it, but I know I didn't. I remember the way that boss works. I only got rid of 1 head, and then I would have to get rid of the next 2. Yeah, I've talked a lot about Skyward Sword in this particular episode. I don't know, maybe I'll go back and actually give titles to my playthroughs other than just uh, just play through part this. I mean, I'd probably keep the parts in, but maybe give interesting titles. Like this could be talks about Skyward Sword. No. Oh. Yeah, hopefully I can because I use C++ to code. I found it works pretty well. Like it's fairly simple to learn. And I'm wondering if I can just like look up something online, maybe comprehend it, if that's a thing you can do. Just because, like I know, like the skills I basically have down is of course, the very simple like C out, C in. Just like I can make something appear on the screen. I could like give it inputs. Basically, I can do anything you can do in a basic RPG fight. Like I can do randomizers. I can, if I put in the effort and make a lot of C outs, or using what is it called? IO manips. I could just make it do a bunch of C outs. So I can basically make I can make singular frames, and technically I can do a lot if I wanted to have something particular repeat. Like, of course, technically, I could have this whole, like, basically make a Legend of Zelda type thing where you could, like, walk around, like, go up, this, 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 but it would literally have to be me making, like, probably hundreds of identical frames that basically make a singular room, and then an option for literally every possibility where it's like, oh, you press like W and then you go up, and then it basically changes frames to when you go up, and it's be a billion. So hopefully there's something where I could just make a singular frame where it's like a room, and then something where you can make like a dot or whatever move around said like see-outed screen to actually get it to look like something's moving. Plus, it'd be a lot. I'd probably need a very specific, like, coding engine to actually make it look like a game instead of, because literally what it looks like to me, in that whole Final Fantasy RPG type thing, is literally a box of, dashes, and, not eyes, but the large line to make a box, and then the little stick figure is just an O on top of an I. Everything is very simple. Like, it's just a bunch of slashes in different directions to make a slash animation for, like, using a sword, I guess. Very, very simple stuff. Jeez. You see, that's what I knew would happen. That kind of thing. Oh, jeez. I feel like this is gonna be a montage. Oh boy. Now, you won't know this by the time I edit it, but this is already a 40-minute long recording. So, even though I said at the beginning, oh, level 6 might be done in one video, it's not going to be. It's going to be done in 2, most likely, since that was a lot of deaths. I don't know if it's more or less than the Dark Nut part. But you'll definitely see a counter in the montage that I'm most certainly going to be making. So until the next one,